Hello everyone, so today we will be learning how to write an equation given a graph. So let's get started. Now before we write the equation, let's just look at the graph and see what we know. So we know that it gives us two coordinates, 0, 3 and coordinate 6, 5. We also know that our y-intercept is at 0, 3 because at this point the line crosses the y-intercept, and we know that the graph is linear because the graph is a line. So since this is a linear graph, we have to write the linear equation. And what is the linear equation? It is y is equal to mx plus b, also called slope-intercept form. Okay, so let's quickly review what each of these mean. M is our rise over run. This is our slope. And the B is our y-intercept, 0, b. So easily we know that our y-intercept is 3. So our y-intercept is 3. Now we have to find the slope. So we know that the slope is rise over 1. But it is also change in y over change in x. And how you would write that is the change in y over the change in x. You could also write it as change in y minus y over x minus x1. This is how you would write the slope algebraically. So we now know that the slope m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which just means the change in y over the change in x is equal to the slope. So now you might be asking, what are these 2, 1, 2, 1 on the bottom of the variables? The 2 represents coordinate 2 and the 1 represents coordinate 1. So we can pretend that this has a 1, this has a 1, this has a 2, and this has a 2. Because this is coordinate 1 and this is coordinate 2. Therefore, in order to find the slope of this graph, we just have to plug in the coordinates. So 0 is the x coordinate and 3 is the y coordinate. 6 is the x, 5 is the y. And we know that 0 is the x and 3 is the y and 6 is the x and 5 is the y because coordinates are written in x, y. That is a given known. So now let's just plug this in. y2 is 5 minus y1 is 3 over x2, 6, minus x1 is 0. Now we just evaluate. So 5 minus 3 is equal to 2 over 6 minus 0 is just 6. And then we can simplify, which will turn into 1 over 3. So our slope is 1 over 3. We can now erase this m and write 1 over 3 is our slope. So based on the graph, our final equation is y is equal to 1 over 3 x plus 3. Next problem. For our next problem, we have to write the equation for the graph. Since this is a linear graph, we have to write it in linear form. Y is equal to mx plus b, slope-intercept form. Let's find our y-intercept. This time we aren't directly given our y-intercept, but we could just figure it out. Where does the graph cross the y-intercept? It crosses the y-intercept at 4, 0, 4. So our y-intercept is 4 plus 4. Now we have to find our slope. And remember, the equation for finding the slope is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is a very important formula that you need to remember. So this is our first coordinate and this is our second. So what is y2? y2 is in our second coordinate, the y coordinate, -2. So -2 minus y1 is 2, x2, 3, x1 is 1. -2 minus 2 is equal to -4. over 3 minus 1 is 2. Negative 4 over 2 is equal to negative 2. So our slope is negative 2. So based on the graph, we found that our final equation for the graph is y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time. Bye!